Welcome today to Judy's Mind Body, Qigong and Tai Chi Chih. Breathing, alignment, and we'll begin with some breath work here behind the stool. We're going to use a stool and we're going to use water nearby. So beginning with triple burner. Exhale down. Inhale up. Coming through 3 energy centers, very slowly coming down, exhaling to the abdomen. This is our first move for Qigong. It really brings us into a sense of expansion, breathing, and the contraction or experience of just feeling that slow exhale down is a little bit like the slight rain we get in San Francisco when it comes in the morning with the dew. It's really slow. It just permeates everything. So really take it slow and enjoy that slow exhale down to your abdomen. Triple burner. The first of several Qigong stretching movements we will do, would stretch not only the alignment, but also your slow breathing that you need for relaxation response. So that's about 5 now. We got 4 more to go. Enjoy it. It's just a sense of waking up in the morning or just before you go to bed going, oh man, the day's over. The day's over when you exhale towards the earth. The day begins when you inhale towards the heavens, and the sun sometimes comes out. And we'll do 1 more of triple burner. And now we'll come to your stool nearby or chair back. We're coming up to the balls of the feet. Well, actually coming onto the heels, they're coming up and you're on the balls of the feet. And exhale down. This is actually warming up the feet. When you hold onto the chair, you can go back and stretch your ankles here. Your toes go up. When you come forward, the heels go up. And that's a little bit like sinking and rising. Here's the rising, here's the sinking. And there's the rising again in the back. A little bit like a rocking chair that is very big. We'll make it much smaller when we get to rocking motion from Tai Chi Chih. It's a good warm up though. Okay, and then whatever you have for a chair back or a stool like I'm using, you're going to do your side to side weight shift with stool. Sliding across, keeping the crown of the head extended by a string and back so that you stay as tall as you can. And just slide across the top of the chair. Or you can do this against a wall too, that kind of works. Or any surface nearby that has a high enough place for you to rest your hands. And then slide across and slide across. Good. Now we're going to take the stool away for a moment in mind. We're going to move over here to do the same thing as a side-to-side weight shift. Noticing that one knee, the direction you're going to is going to bend, maybe 4 inches at most, and then you'll bend it the other way on the other side. So always there's one knee bent when you end up here, and there's one knee straightened or leg straightened. So feel that it's a side-to-side weight shift. You can rest your thumbs on your hips. I like to do that. It reminds me to lengthen up through my spine. Good. So it really doesn't matter what leg you start with here. but let's say you're going to start with your left. You're going to first sink down in rider on horse position, which is about like that. Feet are in a V. And you're going to come over here towards your right and release your left heel, holding on to the stool for a moment for support. And then coming forward and back with your weight shift, bending the front leg at the knee, straightening the back. And then when you come back, bending the back knee and straightening the front leg. But it never locks totally. So leave it, all the joints that we work on today, always flexible and open, never really locking. Okay, so let it go. And you can do this, that kind of helps any graceful movement as you move forward and back when you're warming yourself up. Good. Then I'm going to move my stool over here to show you the other side, and you can do the same if you like or not. And now if we do this over here, we're shifting towards the right. We're shifting towards the left for you. Right, left, because I will be mirroring you today. Now, when you shift to your right, this knee is bent. This leg is straight. If you're going to use this side of the chair and you're going to come here, bending the front knee, straightening the back until you come back to, until the toes come up in front. And then you bend the front knee and the heels come up and back. So feel that as one knee bends, the other straightens. Come back. The back knee's now bent and the front knee is straightened. Leg is straightened. So that'll be important when we go into our next item, which is the Buddhist walking meditation. So I'm going to put this away for now. Might come back to it later for breathing, but we don't need it right now. Okay, the Buddhist walking meditation, or Tai Chi walk. I like to clasp my hands behind so I bring my shoulders back. I'm going to shift over to your right here. And now release this left heel forward and walk towards you, and you can do the same. Towards me, or towards the side, whatever you want to do. You're bringing heel, center of the foot, and then front of the foot. On the other side, of course. Each walk has both legs involved. Come back, the toe to the heel, and you come through the center, which we also call the bubbling spring. So feel that sense of the foot in three parts. Now coming forward, let's ground it. We're going to shift into our left leg this time and release the right for you, and only the heel releases. Now you shift forward, you come through the bubbling spring, and then you spring off the front of the foot and bring the other leg down. The spring off, you have an inhale into the next foot. Very good for balance, especially for the senior body, because it becomes harder and harder to balance. So this is a really good start. Now we're going to put the ball of the foot down, then the center of the foot, then the back of the foot. You feel those three parts. It's been aptly described as having, let me show you if I hold on to this, as having two quarters in front, right here, 1, 2, and 1 in back at the heel. So you're moving forward on the 1 quarter, and you're moving through the middle of the foot, and then you're moving to the 2 quarters. Other side, 2 quarters, 1 on each side of the front of the foot, and 1 quarter back here in this middle part, which we call the bubbling spring, right in there. And we need to be able to sink down into it. Okay, we're now on our right side. Exhaling down, shift to your left, release your right heel, come through the bubbling spring, come through the front of the foot, and then let the inhale come in and then sink down again. Through the heel, center of the foot, and front of the foot. And notice how your shoulders are being held back so that you don't lift up too much. Okay, going back, we're going to come back now to your right heel, right ball of the foot, then the middle of the foot, then the heel. Your 2/4 in front on the opposite foot, and then to the one. If you want to think of it that way, it's kind of a cute way to think about it. And you can see how that would be a really good way to start your day. You have to balance immediately. Now we're going to come into rider on horse, which is with the feet out like this. You're going to inhale and exhale. Most of our practice today will be standing, but there's one more thing I want to do with the chair, and that is sit and breathe. So I'm going to come back here to the middle. And you can really get your feet solidly into the ground here. And you're going to place your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your heart. This is your low dantian. This is your middle one. And this is your highest one. But you want the breath to go through all three. So inhale, abdomen, rib cage, upper chest, and exhale down. We're now doing the 3-part breath in yoga. And notice how we really don't drop the body like this at all. We want to keep the length in the spine. Feel the belly expand as you inhale up to the collarbones. Feel it contract slowly as you exhale down. And coordinate it. One more of the 3-part breath, which in Hatha Yoga we call Dirgha Swasam breath. Very long Sanskrit thing. And if you think about it, it's really this. Expansion. And this time in Qigong, we actually bring it down from a higher point. We bring it from the back of the skull all the way down. But it's essentially the same idea. You inhale, expand here at the belly. And you slowly contract down on the exhale and at the belly. When that happens, in Qigong, we call it coming from the top, the string here that holds the crown of the head up. All the way down, you exhale. And as you exhale, that coming in of the belly is going to move the energy to the back of the spine here, right at the circle here, right above your waist and down to the bottom of your tailbone. That's your Ming Men area. Okay, let's do it now. Feel it as Qigong. And you really feel it in the chair because it's your belly has to come in. Okay, one more. I think that's a good way for us all to begin because it starts with the elements of both alignment and the breath. And let's shake it out now. And if you want to stay on your chair, you can, but you should be on the front of it if you're going to do that. And I'm going to move my stool over here. Qigong is my favorite thing right now. I love it because it's something that I personally need. And we go from triple burner now into Buddha picks up the earth. So come right up here as if you're Buddha and you're swooping down. Inhale first and exhale down with all your power and inhale up through the center body and push up the earth into the sky. On your exhale, all long exhale down. It's still got a circular aspect. Energy coming from earth, energy moving into the sky. Such a dramatic kind of feeling, like characters in opera that do wild things like this. It's supposed to be soft, circular from the center, but I find it totally opening, which is much bigger than just soft. It's got power in it. It's locked there through the chi, your intrinsic energy, which we're exploring today. We need it for life and for joy. The purpose of all meditations, and this is a really special one when we get to Tai Chi. It's filled with all these elements. Inhale again and exhale out. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to next move into shaking it out. When you shake it out, you start with your feet, like you got a stutter through there and up through your thighs and up through your belly and up through your chest and up through your arms and up through your fingers and up through your everything there, your wrists and everything. And then you let it go again. Shake it out. Beautiful. Now, the best thing to do after that is something slow. So we're going to do a few groundings. Inhale to the heart. Exhale down to the abdomen. Inhale up to your head, your third dantian, probably the most important for good action. And then above that to the sky and the sun. When we're outside, for whatever reason, the sun usually comes out. I don't know if it's our fault, or our idea, but here we're inhaling all the way up to the sun and exhaling through the trees and coming down through all the clouds and all the way down until we rest on globes of energy in resistance to gravity. And the palms now are rounded, fingers are relaxed, but we want to make sure that they are relaxed. So after all these little moves from Qigong, we're going to do some circles. Okay, so our next one, heaven and earth. Inhale, your thumb and your forefinger are together. Your ribs are opening. You can feel the length through this side as you inhale up. And as you sink the energy through the palm here, as you come down, feel the exhale. Now pick it up here on your inhale and release it slowly, like you've got a paintbrush through the air. The palm has flattened and you watch it go. Is that drama? A bit of it is. It's just a feeling that you can be this imaginative and enjoy it and not think it's crazy. Inhale and exhale, because it makes sense to use our creative mind. Now come over this way. Thumb and forefinger together. Inhale up. Flatten the palm on the exhale and come down the wall in your mind. Feels like a paintbrush, but it's paintbrush through air. Very safe. Ungraffiti-like. But it's the same idea. We can paint here, inhale, but only with air rather than real paints. Using our imagination. We can also see the wall with our vision as the palm comes down, enabling our eyes to actually come down slowly with the paintbrush. And then we'll come back to center and ground it. Inhale and sink it. The logical one after this is to go with one hand up like this for heaven. Inhale, and the other hand to come down for earth. And you can flatten the palm both ways. Inhale, center, and we'll go the opposite hand here in the opposite feeling of opening up the rib cage. And you're extending the leg on one side here. This one here, as the opposite hand goes up. You're also extending the rib cage on the opposite side. Here now the hand is going up and this is extending the rib cage and this back leg is extended. So those extensions and releases are important. It's not really a lock, but it's certainly an extension. It's almost like a lock in the leg. So you can release the heel that way, back here, or release it on the other side. And that releases the sense of tension in the leg. And one more of heaven and earth with weight shift. And inhale and sink it through the earth. The accordion, placing your palms to face like this. Inhale, expanding the rib cage. Exhale to have the hands almost touched, but not. They come right outside the breast and they stop. But there's polarity between the palms there. So feel that. Inhale back. Exhale to center. See how small you feel now? And now inhale, expand. You can feel the lungs are really big here. And now you can feel them diminish here. And they get smaller and smaller and smaller because the diaphragm is moving up. And one more. Good. Now you're going to bring the hands together slowly and feel something there, probably without touching. Do you feel that? It's the chi. We're just cultivating it. We're playing with it. Good. And then release. Excellent. Okay, that was really good. We're going to now move into the propeller and we'll move more into the owl and then we'll go on transitioning into circles and stuff. All right, the propeller. Palms are up here facing the heavens, and you're going to slowly do a waist turn here to your right and let the hip go with you. And inhale slowly to the left, keeping your spine really long through here. Feel the exhale on the twist and the inhale at the center. And the length of the spine all the way through. Taking your time to explore your room, perhaps. Come back to center and let it go. All right, our next move is going to be the owl. You're going to clasp the hands behind you, connecting. The spine just opening it up as far as you can. And inhale the head to the right. And inhale in the center, and then exhale it to the left. And usually we inhale at the center, and then exhale on the turn. But there's no have-tos in my class. Make sure you're comfortable. That's the basic thing. If you have to take more breaths or make it different, I really think it's up to you. And one more to your left. Now this is a little bit more aerobic, but it's somewhat controlled. Knocking at the gates. You're knocking at the gates which go across the abdomen area and to the buttocks. And take your time. And let your feet go with you. I like to release my heel and back because I want to make sure none of us torque our knees, our ankles, or our hips. It all works together. If you let that heel slide, or the toes actually are sliding, but the heels are coming up when you slide. All right. One leg is yan, and the other's more yin, and then it switches to the other side. Basically a weight shift. Now coming up to the above the abdomen area into your kidneys and back. Right back there. And then coming to your lung points right here. right below the shoulders and right hitting part of the arm, upper arm. And then if you can, bring this one hand over to pat your shoulder, and you can actually bring your hand underneath it to support that elbow. Gets you back a little bit farther if you want. Just tap yourself. It's like saying, hey, let's have a good day. Not worry about too much. And then now we're going to bring the other arm over that and tap the other side. So you just change what elbow's underneath. And so you can bring the elbow up that way and you can get farther down inside of that shoulder blade. If you want, you can also massage it. And this is a fun thing. You just hug yourself. Bring your left elbow under and give yourself a nice hug. It feels good. You're trying Qigong today for another special time together. And then we bring the opposite elbow under and hug ourselves that way. We're really opening up our spine here or the shoulder area. And now open it for the chest to open. Nice wide chest. Come into Tadasana, mountain pose for a moment. Take a deep breath. And now we're going to get ready to tap down, starting with the chest area and moving down through the inside of the legs, around the ankle area, the outside of the legs, up the back thighs, up to the buttocks. And remember to fold forward from the hips here as you do this. And tapping here. Anywhere you want to tap. There's no real rules on tapping, but now you might come to your right arm on the top. And then all the way down to the fingers and then the upper side of the inside of that arm. Come down. It's like, hi, arm. I'm glad you're there today. I support you. And down the other side of the arm, the other arm. Inside of it. And then just roll those hands together, massaging them. Notice how they're already pretty warm, probably from the chi work we've been doing. And shake it out again. The fountain. You come up here like this. You bring the backs of the palms together so that they touch. You inhale first, you start exhaling down, and the exhale will end up with your fingers close to the earth or maybe touching. Inhaling up again. Remembering that when we fold from the hips, we're pretty safe. And then you can round after that to let go. Two more of the fountain. Yay. I love this thing. It's such a happy pose. 4-year-olds love it too, I'm noticing. Inhale. And be a fountain. All the way down. And then you might want to walk up your shins and thighs and let it go. Circling the joints is next. We're going to add swimming in here, so be ready for starting simply with the head and neck. You're going to bring your chin to your chest. You're going to bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Hold the palms down and back so that you're not lifting your shoulders, and come around to touch close to your ear and shoulder on the other side. And this is never the same for anybody, so you can make your circles smaller if you like, or bigger if you like, but be careful of your neck. If it starts to wonk for you, you might want to make it really small. And go the opposite way. You're going to go left ear to left shoulder and around. I like to close my eyes because I think this takes a lot of focus. You got to feel it. I feel that when I start to inhale up, I start to exhale down at the top of the circle to go to the other side. So coordinate your breath however you like, but make sure you're breathing. And one more on that left side, starting and coming to the right side, or whatever you didn't do before. And then bring the head up slowly. We'll come back briefly to the owl again. So looking to the right, coming back to center, looking to the left. Notice how much freer that is than it does when we did it before. Good. Now let it go. Shoulders, shoulder rolls, forward, up, back, and down. We've got our fingers moving with the shoulders, and the elbows are also involved in this circle, forward, up, and back, and down. And feel the inhale here and the exhale back. Shoulder blades are rolling down. Right there on the exhale. And then start the opposite way. Let's see. Back, up, forward, and down. Maybe make a big deal out of that exhale. Use the funnel breath. One more. Shake it out. Okay, this will surprise you a little bit. We're going to do some big shoulder moves. This is the crawl stroke. And you can use your whole body for this, like you're a mermaid and you've got fins and you've got a fun kind of thing happening in the feet. Let the feet follow the arms. However that works for you. So it's fairly big, freeing gesture. Good. And one more. That lets go of any tension, I think. Now we're going to do the crawl backwards. So backstroke. And anything can be changed here. So if this is too big for you, you can make it really smaller. Just do what you feel good with. One shoulder doesn't work, just use the other one. Good. And let's just make it butterfly. And once again, you can make it really tiny if you want, because this kind of freedom will happen over time, and you just have to believe it will. And shake it out again. And we now have the breaststroke. Inhale here. Palms are facing, and then exhale out. You're moving through water. Of course, you're really moving through air, but imagine that it's water. That would be an exhale. Here would be an inhale. And last one of the breaststroke. Excellent. Coming down the body, we'll come to the wrists next. Bring the elbows close to the body and circle the wrists, which end up also circling the forearms. And go back with your circles. Good. Now starting to play the piano. This is the air guitar, actually, but it could be a piano on its side. You're going to inhale up, playing the piano, coming up here, and exhaling down. Fingers are moving over all those keys. Come back to center and stop. Exhale. Then we start from the opposite side. Let's see, we went that way. We're going to go this way. That looks beautiful. Sort of ballet-like. Good, center. Come back to center and let it go. Wrist circles are great for the next thing, which is going to be coming into our hips, because we essentially do a very slow circle here. Forward, side, back, side. We want everything to have circles, all our joints. Why? Because when we get to Tai Chi, we need that freedom, flexibility, and balance. Good. Now we've gone forward, side, back, side. Let's go the opposite side. I don't know if I did this way. Let's go this way. If I did, just do the opposite side. Then I'll know that I'm wrong. Okay, now when you come to the forward part here, let's go the opposite this way. You want all your circles to be both ways. Come back to center, lengthen through the spine, hold forward from the hips, bring the feet together. We're going to come down halfway, take hold of our knees and circle forward to the right, back to the left, and then forward to the left, back to the right, and forward. And now you can do it any way you like. Just give yourself some freedom with your circles. Not too fast, because you want to protect the knees and you're holding on to them. And the opposite way. Good. Now slide down the legs. You're straightening the knees pretty much here. The legs. And then walk up the legs. Big monster hands here. And let it go. So we did a lot of swing motions, crawl stroke, breaststroke, arms over the head for backstroke, wrist circles, and hip circles, knee circles. Now we're at Hatha Yoga possibilities, slowing down. Inhale. Expanding that whole gesture. Bring the palms together in prayer and exhale down through all three energy centers. The heart is the second. The abdomen is the bottom part of the heart in this shape from Qigong. And you can then bring the palms down like this instead of having them touch, and it's Qigong. Or you can come back and have it as yoga, because they're all connected ideas. Bring the palms absolutely together, and it's prayer. Try it the Qigong way. They won't touch this time, but they do come down through all three energies, going past your heart, which is true of all meditation, is that we're centering on that heart. And now we'll do it as yoga and bring the palms together. We'll come into a spinal twist from yoga. Bring the palms open here with the palms up and twist a little bit like the propeller, right? To really try it like yoga, once we do this, spinal twist, bring your palms into prayer. And this is exploring your feet. You're going to come up to the balls of the feet. You're going to inhale to your right with prayer. The heels are up. Twist on your exhale. Inhale back to center in prayer. Twist towards your left. Heels are still up, a little anyway. Come back to center. And one more twist. This is a beautiful twist for balance. It's a spinal twist just on the balls of the feet. You exhale as you twist. You inhale back to center. Beautiful. Now you just release, come down into rider on horse. And we're going to simply ground ourselves a few times, maybe 5. Inhale up to the heart. Exhale down. Inhale to the head. Exhale down. Inhale all the way up to the sun. And slowly exhale down. Now you're coming through your head center. Now you're coming through your heart center. Now you're coming to the abdomen on the exhale. One more. Slow grounding without stopping. Beautiful. You connected them all. Now you're going to simply come into Tadasana, the mountain pose, releasing the palms forward. So the palms are not back here, but they're forward. And you're the mountain. I'm the mountain. We're all the mountain in our practice today as we start. And then inhale once more to ground. And we'll come now into rocking motion. We'll be doing 9, the noble number today. So that's 1, 2. Feel yourself coming towards the balls of the feet, through the center, and towards the heels. And now the toes lift. And now the heels lift. And there's a center point where you come through that bubbling spring area in the middle. Enjoy that. We really are the rocking chair in this move. I like to feel the figure 8 here that starts down here with the palms bringing energy from earth and turns over on the top, and it becomes an 8 shape, the infinity symbol. And feel the fullness of that 8. Three more. When we come to the last one, we double ground it. Inhale and exhale. Twice. And now we move towards bird flaps its wings. Inhale and sink and release the heels. And circle here. Inhale back. One more of bird flaps its wings. Inhale and sink into the ground with your exhale here. We're going to double ground this one and take a moment here to hydrate before we continue with the weight shifts that are forward and back. So get some water. Yeah, it's a good idea to hydrate between the Qigong and the Tai Chi Chih, which I forgot, but at least one of you remembered. All right, now you're going to inhale and sink. Shift over to your right. Release your left heel. Around the platter in chest high water. A lot more than we just drank. Six. We're going to go all the way to 9 on each side. You're probably already feeling quite a bit of chi between the fingers and your palms. You want a nice, relaxed, round palm like you would play classical piano. Inhale and sink it down. Shift towards your left. Release your right heel. Around the platter, right side. Feel the levelness of that water on your fingers right on top of it. Right, circling outside of the sternum area. Last one on your right side. Double ground it. Bring it to your heart and bring it to your head. And sink it down. Shift to your right, release the left heel. Around the platter variation, picking up a ball of energy at your left shoulder. Sinking at center and bring the energy back to the back foot. But the forward back shift is all part of this. We don't have to follow the circle. It's just forward back with the body and the arms, maybe the elbows, fingers follow with a circle. I think I'm doing the next one. So let's come back to around the platter. Just simple, simple, simple. No ball that we pick up yet. Good, bring that foot back in. Shift to the other side. Let's pick up the other ball this time. So it's a circle within a circle. Outside the right shoulder is a ball, and your outside of that is this huge circle. Not that much huge, but it's much bigger than the small circle right here. Here's the small one. Here's the big one. And here's the forward back weight shift that isn't following either circle. Three more. And last one. Around the platter variation follows the simple variation. Let's double ground it. We're going to come into bass drum next. Shift towards your right. Release your left heel. And inhale your whole self up here forward and your whole self back. Exhaling. As if you yourself were the drum, feel the energy moving around the body as you circulate the chi, your intrinsic energy, has now come quite well to your fingers and palms, which are facing here in polarity. A word I like a lot. It's fun. It's just something special happening between those palms here, the Qigong points. It's just beautiful. Polarity. And when the palms connect this way, it increases the chi, which is why I love it so much. Inhale here and exhale back, and you feel something really great that's come around your body. Last one now on your left. Let's bring that foot in. Inhale to ground it through the earth. Shift towards your left, release your right heel, and we do it again. Bass drum. It's very interesting how when you do this outdoors, it's even more powerful because you're in nature, and the early Taoists connected everything from nature. So you really see the earth, the sky, the clouds, and you do this, it's powerful. I would encourage all of you who haven't tried it to do that. Two more. Last one of bass drum on your right side. Bring the foot in. You're in rider and horse at the moment. Exhale it down. Double ground it. This powerful stuff for the body. And when you come ground it, make sure that you've got enough space between your legs to be able to feel it solidly in the earth. And then shift to the right to bring your left heel forward. Daughter on the mountaintop. Your back foot is automatically, when you come out of rider on horse, it's always going to be essentially 45-degree angle, and the front foot is going to come right from the hip down, hip, knee down to the ankle. The daughter is coming up the mountains. There's mountains on both sides and a valley in between. Feel the cross of the right over the left wrist. The left hand is closer to the heart for all of us. Three more on this left side. Inhaling forward and exhaling back as those hands cross. Last one on your left. Inhale the foot back. You're back on rider and horse. It's a fairly open, big gesture here as you exhale down. And then prepare for the other side by shifting towards the left leg and moving the right heel forward. Daughter on the mountaintop. Right side this time, right leg forward. And your left hand still crosses behind the right hand. So that's you. The outside hand is someone else that you love. Connect them both through that cross of the wrist. Three more. Here's your inhale. There's your exhale. We'll do one more now and really slow it down because we're coming into daughter in the valley next, where we start from the tops of the mountains. Double ground it. Feel the length of the spine. Bring it up even higher because we're going to go to the tops of the mountains, so why not? And bring it up to the sun. and shift it over to your right to bring the left forward, left leg that is. You just dropped your heel. Now you're going to come through the valley. Inhale here. And exhale back to survey your view from above the mountains. And then inhale through the valley to go up again. It's like climbing a mountain 9 times on a side. There's a lot of chi flow through here as the palms come closer, so enjoy that. Inhale it. Looks great. 3 more. Take your time. This is probably 9 now, so that's the last of our noble Chinese numerology there on that side. Inhale up. Sink it down. Shift it now towards your left because you're going to be releasing your right. Start on the tops of the mountains, which are right there. Exhale down and inhale through the central trail. The palms are in maximum polarity now, so you should be able to feel quite a bit of chi there, or energy between the palms that you've created yourself by your own imagination and your breath. Now you notice that your jaw is releasing. The tongue wants to go to the upper palate. I'll let that happen. It's okay. Release any tension in the face. Let it go. Last one of daughter in the valley. Draw that leg back and double ground it. Inhale and exhale. And let's bring it up once more. This is very special 2 moves I love. Companion moves. And our next move is going to use our side-to-side weight shift. As we go across, we'll be carrying a ball. So coming over here to your right side of your whatever you're on. Inhale, wind up, pick up your ball. It's a little ball this time. Bring the heel out here, your left heel, and move across like through seagrass. Let it go. 3 times. Sink, wind up, release this heel. Keep the spine long, even though you're a little bit crouched down on that carry of the ball. That's the sinking part of this. And you stay kind of in that, like you're riding across on a piano stool with your buttocks. You inhale to come off the piano stool, exhale, and go back on it. Slide, slide, inhale, and release. And we go back the other way. Wind up, release your right heel, and move right. Bring in the foot, inhale, lengthen, and sink. Wind up. Second carry here, going this way. Rise and sink. It should be fun. Make it a game. Now go back the other way. This will be the last 3 carries this way. 1, 2, 3. Bring in the outside foot and 2 more sets of the same. Let the wrists really relax as you do this. As if you and I are all seagrass moving. And inhale all the way up. And exhale all the way down. And we next come into push, pull, and pulling in the energy, shifting to the right, releasing the left heel, and exhaling down and back up and turn the wrist and return the energy to your heart. Exhale forward on this one. Inhale back to your heart. Giving and receiving energy. An ancient move. Called here push, pull. Four more. On your left side. Last one. Beautiful. Bring the foot back in. Enjoy your grounding. Thinking about how you were going to start the next one. I like to shift over to the left side here. Release my right heel. Give myself time to get set up. And then start. Exhale forward. It helps personal balance. And the exhale helps you feel the energy moving forward of that exhale here changes the way the feet move. So feel it, because you're going to come through three areas here: the middle of the foot, the front of the foot, and then you're going to exhale back or inhale back. So that's different from the other weight shifts. Push and pull. And one more slowly on your right side. And bring the foot back in. Inhale to sink it through the earth. And to double ground it. And then shift towards your right leg to bring the left forward for pulling in the energy from the farthest star in the universe. And the palms are up like this. Inhaling that energy through the fingertips. That's 6. We got 3 more on this side. And if you ever get tired, you can always sit and keep going with those palms. Don't have to give up. Let your resilience and your moving ahead always not hold you back from trying. Other side. Pulling in that energy from the farthest star. We've had some beautiful moons lately and beautiful stars in San Francisco and clear nights. If you've been out there looking at them, notice how amazing they are. So bring in that energy from the farthest star you can see on the clear nights we have. On the foggy nights, you just have to imagine that the stars are there. And 2 more of pulling in the energy. Beautiful. Bring that foot in. Double ground it. Because now we come into our next beautiful moves, the taffies. If you need water, you can grab it if you're okay. You can go on. I'm just going to grab some water for a second here. Yeah, we all know, those of us who've been doing this, that the hydration's important, right? Because we're working with the breath and working to expand our own breath. So yeah, we started with breathing today and Qigong seated and so now we're moving into the last part of our Tai Chi practice. The taffies. Left hand under right elbow, left heel out and moving to the left because the left hand is our invite hand. And exhaling always as much as we can to ground the body and then moving on. Basic taffy, sticky taffy or sticky heavy air that we're moving through without touching those palms or the arms that we're passing through. Like passing through water, only it's air. We got 4 or 5 more now. So inhale. We want to end up on the left side for home plate here for you. So we'll end up going back to the peacock here after a few of these. But we always want to end towards this side. Let's do 2 whole sets more, okay? And this will be the last set that takes us to the left and back to the peacock right here. Inhale and sink it through the earth and double ground it. Our next taffy is part of 3 variations. The first being anchor taffy. You anchor this right leg. You bring your left foot forward, left hand's under. Pull the taffy. Open the hips. Inhale to ground it and to move it towards the left. Now the other leg comes forward. The anchor leg has changed. And your right hand will draw you to the right side. And switch. Notice the sinking and rising we're getting good at now. There's a rising on the inhale there, sinking on the exhale. And now we bring the palm under and move. Once again, rise to inhale and sink to exhale. So if you think about that, maybe it's a lot too much to think about, but it does help because you're actually releasing those knees each time you exhale and you straighten them to inhale. Sink. Rise. Go forward. Go to the side. And this will be our last one. We're going to find up and end up on our left side. That's home plate. Beautiful. That was so graceful and so flexible and so soft. I loved it. So that's our first variation. Our second variation is circles taffy. And each time the taffy, we're feeling the air as we move. So feet in a V, sink and rise. And on the third circle, you're going to wind up and move towards your left, always returning to basic taffy. Good. Now we start it again. Wind up and pull it across and wait to inhale. And sink. Good. And we'll make this the last one of circles taffy. We're going to return to home base. So your left hand will be under, and you'll just come to double ground it. Make sure you've got enough space between your feet to make this comfortable. Let's triple ground it. It feels like it needs another grounding. Because our next one is the most joyous and the most energetic, essentially. So we have to make sure we don't overdo it. But this is perpetual motion taffy with heel step. And it has a special characteristic here of the inside of the arm. It's your heart protector move. As one hand comes down the inside of the arm without touching it. It may look on the screen like I am touching it, but no, I'm purposely almost touching it. Because you want to really feel the chi there that comes all the way through the fingers from the top of the arm down on the inside. And you also want to do your heel step. So the heel's going to drop down first, and then it goes to the toe, the energy does. Then you do the other foot with the arm. And does it take practice? Yes. Two more. And we have to go back to home plate here, so we have a third one here. Okay, good. Now inhale and sink it through the earth. And double ground it. That was beautiful. And now we're going to come to working the pulley. So your left hand's going to be forward and your left foot. And this hand's going to be underneath the hip here, the hip bone. Forward. And it's like a swim move. So imagine that you're moving through heavy air as if you were doing the crawl stroke, which we did in our Qigong practice today. And it goes across the body, but you come straight out from that shoulder. And then you pull the hip back here on your inhale. So it's really an exhale here. Because your left leg is governing this, as well as your breath. Three more. Last one. Beautiful. Bring the foot in, inhale it, sink it into the earth, and prepare for the other side. Now you're going to bring your right foot forward, and your right hand's already placed outside that shoulder, and you're going to come across this way and slide with the ball of the foot and back, and then slide with the heel in front. It's an exaggerated front forward back weight shift, essentially, because you're bringing everything together, your heel inside of your knee and the hip when you do this slide. And you do the ball of the foot and the same on the other side, same connections. Working the pulley. Pushing and then pulling back with that right hand as you inhale. Exhaling there. Inhaling back. Good. Let's do one more of working the pulley. And now we're going to bring the foot in. Inhale. Sink it through the earth. And move into light at the top of the head. But one more here. Get your feet ready with your feet in a V. And now come to the crown of the head, right back here at the back of the head, or wherever you need to be, and sink and rise. 3 times. Light at the top of the head. Hold it now. Inhale it. Circle the palms 6 to 9 times so that the palms are kind of talking to each other. And so are the fingers. Hold it. Inhale it and sink and rise 3 times. Light at the top of the head. We'll now turn the palms over, sink the energy into the earth in a really open, beautiful, round way. Bring the left hand above on the inhale to the heart. Sink it down through the central meridian. Come to the temples, light at the temple. Feet in a V, sink and rise. Beautiful. Now hold it there for a moment to feel that energy. And then circle the fingers and the palms right opposite the head without touching it. And hold the energy there. Inhale it. And sink and rise and let it go. All the way out and down and back to your heart with your left hand. And sink the energy into the earth. And double ground it. Joyous breath is next. Take a big breath in. Now come to the balls of the feet and sink it out 4 times. 3 transitions of this. Heels. 2 more. Last one. Joyous breath. Make it fun. Smile. Laughter is good. Inhale and release down. Our next move, passing clouds, feet in a V on the earth. Exhale, inhale. Brush the elbow, brush the elbow. This is your mirror hand on top. You don't have to follow it, or you can. Outside is best. Inside is just meditate. Last one. Bring the foot in. Double ground it. And 6 healing sounds. Your left hand will be ho. Both hands will be hu. And then you're going to move from your left to right. And that will be for we'll do it together. I'm going to mirror you. Ready? Ho, heart. Hu, spleen. Tsu, liver. Sh, lungs. Shi, triple heater. Chui, kidneys. Ho, hu, tsu, sh, shi, chui. Last set, 5 chuis. Ho, hu, tsu, sh, shi, chui. Chui, heel step. Chui. Turn the palms over. Chui. Chui. Beautiful. Circle the palms. Coming into cosmic consciousness pose. You're going to bring your left heel to your right ankle bone. Essentially come into a tree from yoga. Bring your left hand closer to the heart as you come down. Balance on your feet. Open the shoulders. Elbows out there and bring the left hand close to on the inside, close to the heart. Bring it up. Look over the window of eternity. Separate those fingers. And through it, interlace them. Bring it up for gratefulness. 9,000 years of Qigong, 6 centuries of Tai Chi. And the work only since 1974 of the great teacher Wen Shan Wang, an anthropologist, and Justin Stone, probably in LA. My teacher, Tai Chi Chih, 19 movements in one pose. Thank you for your practice.